where we put the bar on the back, which is below the spine of the scapula, as opposed to on top of the traps or closer to on top of the neck in a high bar squat, or in front of us on the front delts, like in a front squat. Whenever the bar is placed below the spine of the scapula, it allows for the lifter to assume a more bent over position at the bottom of the squat, which places much more of the moment on the hips as opposed to the knees. While this is happening, the knees are still getting stronger and the hips are bearing most of the stress, but the knees are still getting stronger at the same time. Just because they are not getting as much moment does not mean that they are not getting stronger. When the knees bear most of the stress in the squat, over a long period of time, there's a chance for the lifter to develop patellar tendonitis or other issues associated with knee pain of some sort. And one of the ways that we prevent additional knee pain in the squat is, as the squat occurs, we choose a wide enough stance with a toes out position as opposed to a more toes forward position. And this means that we are eliminating, as we track the knees over the toes, we are eliminating a lot of the twisting on the knee, and we are by keeping the knees in line with the toes. And while this is happening, the muscles of the inner thigh, the adductors, and the abductors are, as well as the hamstrings and the quads, are all involved in this process. The quads are involved with knee extension. The hamstrings are involved by, since they insert on the ischial tuberosity of the pelvis and they cross both the hip joint and the knee joint, they stabilize the back angle, so they keep the lifter bent over, and then they help stabilize the knee by inserting on the tibia and fibula of the knee, of the shank. And since the way that we squat, as you go down, the knee angle and the hip angle is changing at the same rate, which means that the hamstrings are not shortening or lengthening. They might they might shorten a little bit, but they are primarily staying in the same position. And that means that the hamstrings get to stabilize the knee as well as to get stressed in a more sufficient manner to help strengthen and hold the knees from the posterior position. And with the knees out, that allows us to stress the adductor muscles of the inner thigh and the groin. And that means that out of the bottom of the squat, the adductors get to function as hip extensors by producing force and allowing for the muscles, for the inner muscles of the thigh to get stronger and to lift more weight and to create more stability around the knee.